Human Rights Day in South Africa is historically linked to March 21, 1960, and the events of Sharpeville. On that day, 69 people died and 180 were wounded when police opened fire on a peaceful crowd that had gathered in protest against the pass laws. This day marked an affirmation by ordinary people rising in unison to proclaim their rights. Welcome to Trendz Travel. I am Nadia Dambuza, your host. Now, as we commemorate Human Rights Day, we start this show by celebrating the life of Tata Rolihlahla Nelson Mandela, who spent his whole life fighting for social justice. Nestled in the leafy suburb of Houghton in Johannesburg is the Nelson Mandela Foundation, your go-to place if you want to be taken back into time. The life and times of former President Nelson Mandela, to be precise.
In 1999, when he stood down as president of the country, he was still involved in doing conflict resolution work, and he needed a space to work in, and then the Nelson Mandela Foundation was established as his post-presidential office. And this is the actual office that he worked in from 2002 until 2010, when he last visited us here.
The Nelson Mandela Foundation's core is to deliver to the world an integrated and dynamic information resource on the life and the times of the former president.
So he had some favorite items in this office. That huge book that you see there is a book on Muhammad Ali. And when Madiba had free time, he would take that book at his desk and he would page through it and read up on it and just smile. The other favorite was that photo of him and Tata Sisulu there. He actually asked us to put that photo up in his office. So it was also something that he treasured, his relationship with Tata Sisulu.
If you want a history lesson or perhaps want to get up close and personal with the late former president, this room does exactly that.
This is his Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. Together with F.W. de Klerk, he received the Nobel Peace Prize. So this is a copy of that. This is his briefcase, which he used when he was president of the country. So we're just displaying it as as part of his presidency. His various notes that he wrote. The first session of Parliament that he presided over on the 25th of May 1994. Madiba was a prolific note taker, so we have his post-1990 notes and notebooks. And every scrap of paper, there's things on little pieces of paper, in books, things like that. He made extensive notes. Also, when he attended meetings, he would actually sit and listen and write down what everyone was speaking about. It helped him train his thoughts and prepare his response.
To signify that the courts were only in white man's favor, he chose to wear traditional gear and a jackal skin kaross for his court appearance, instead of a white man's suit. Mama Winnie kept it safe for all those years. Utata was born in Umvezo in the Eastern Cape, and the earliest picture of him is at Hilltown College that he attended as a teenager. May his soul continue to rest in eternal peace. The fashion industry took a huge knock when the COVID pandemic hit. With no fashion shows to showcase their works, designers had to find innovative ways to sell. Up next, we chat to experts in the industry about how they survived lockdown.
March 2021 marks a full year since South Africa went into lockdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic. A year later, the fashion industry is seeing a slow recovery of the financial loss that left the industry on its knees. But how severe was the damage caused by the pandemic? Founder of the Fashion Agent, a wholesale agency and distribution company, Annette Pringle lets us in.
When COVID really happened, Tebe Magugu and I, we were at Paris Fashion Week. in February, March 2020. And Thebe just had his first physical presentation on the official calendar of Paris Fashion Week, which was very exciting. And that event took place according to schedule. And then shortly after that, lots of events were cancelled, and we even rebooked our flights to come back earlier to South Africa because we were just scared that it might close, the borders might close for us. So we were like busy literally getting all his pre-orders for autumn-winter 20 season to get confirmed, to collate them, and then to go into manufacturing. And it was quite a challenge because like some retailers cancelled. Some retailers did not communicate at all. So we had like some losses in terms of orders, in terms of like the original order volume, which we predicted, and the good response we got. So that's what we were busy with when COVID hit.
One of the biggest names in the South African fashion industry, Laduma Ngxokolo, had to resort to the digital marketing to keep the sales going.
As a designer during COVID-19 lockdown, one of the things that I shifted was that we immediately shift our focus of our business to digital. We created an experience online where we did our fashion show online. We became more present on social media, and we became more present on WhatsApp business, and also polished our online store. And the results did show because we had a 400% increase on our online sales platform.
In the midst of this dark cloud, Laduma was given an opportunity to showcase at the New York Fashion Week 2020.
Showcasing at the New York Fashion Week platform was a thing that was like perfect timing for us, you know, because we already had a collection. There was a whole movement of Black Lives Matter that was going on at that time. And New York Fashion Week, IMG as a company that owns New York Fashion Week, gave us the platform to showcase for free as a goodwill gesture to Black young businesses. And they also advertised our show. That gave us a great boost. Now the fashion show is standing at 300,000 viewers on YouTube.
2021 comes with the promise of prosperity, with countries introducing rollout plans for the COVID-19 vaccine. We look forward to cutting-edge post-lockdown looks in the fashion front.
Human rights are the basic rights that everyone has simply because they are human. They are not earned, and they are not privileges handed by someone. One important right is the right to equality. All people are equal and should be treated as such, regardless of their race, gender, ethnic or social origin, color, sexual orientation, age, religion, culture, disability. Everyone has to be treated the same. Know your rights? Let's take a short break. Have you ever thought about how travel and tourism affects marginalized communities? Well, Friendly Tourism has, and they have embarked on a mission to incorporate more than 4 million hearing-impaired South Africans, starting out with an adventure weekend centered to cater to their specific needs and giving them the best experience.
Today we find ourselves at GZ Adventures Mandela, which is 28 kilometers from Nelspruit. Mandela is a family destination of adventure activities and bringing families out of the city. We sit on close on 50 hectares here of open grasslands, swimming pools, bicycle tracks, mountain bike routes, river rafting. We do it all here, and it's getting families to be families again. This whole weekend we've been hosting the Mr., Miss and Mrs. Deaf South Africa's workshop. One of the big things of hosting the deaf is understanding them. So we wanted to take them and do something different. So where it would take half an hour to explain safety procedures about going onto a river, it takes us an hour, and it takes us a lot more time with each one individually, because you can't scream out, keep your head down. They don't hear you. So we had to train our guides in certain sign language so they could show the signs of danger, come together, come back, hello, goodbye. Really basic stuff, but it really gave them an opportunity of doing something they've never been able to do. Things that these people have always been excluded, because you arrive at a property, who can sign? Nobody can. So part of this whole initiative is getting them out into the industry and teaching our front of house people how to communicate with over 4 million people in this country that have been excluded. Bring them in, understand a few signs. We teaching it, we learning, my staff are loving it, and there's nothing better than being able to understand someone talking. We decided all of them need to go and experience this Houtbosloop River, one of the fastest flowing rivers in South Africa, a shallow river. And we had all of them come down the river. We never lost any of them, they're all here.
Usually, with the tubes ebbing down the Houtbosloop River, the air is filled with the screams and sounds of excitement of its travelers geckoing down the fast-flowing shallow river. However, this time around, all you hear is the rushing water and the chirping birds, while these hearing-impaired voyagers enjoy their adventure.
Every one of them, including the interpreters, got off this river and said, what an amazing experience, and better so with the deaf, because they see things we don't see. And they were coming back and telling me, did I see a bird? They saw a green bird and a yellow bird, and they saw a tree with a big rock jammed inside. It's something we just take for granted. They've shown us something new.
Then it's off to the next adventure.
Doing paintball really gave them an opportunity of doing something they've never been able to do. It's not something they'd go and do because they can't hear if the whistle blows or not. The understanding when you're doing paintball, normally there's someone blowing a whistle to warn you to stop. We couldn't do that. So what we did is we put target shooting so they could actually experience what it is, to understand the pressure of a power gun going off in your hands. So they all had an opportunity to do paintball. We'd love to have stuck them into the field with their safety masks, but who's going to be the judge and stop them because they can't hear us screaming? It's a joke and they love it. The archery is another thing. You've got to take time and spend time with them individually and explain why you pull back, why it's not a sudden release. And as I said, it's all about spending time, taking that time and talking to them.
If it was not enough fun for this often marginalized community, they are also offered the opportunity to do an obstacle course. It would seem easy enough for the hearing, but for the impaired, it's a matter of receiving proper and in-depth detailing of what they can expect and what they are about to do.
We'll do 4 courses. First, the zip line. Secondly, the poles. And third, that bridge.
First, the instructor relays all the vital information in a play-by-play format and then allows the interpreter to translate into sign language. Once they are satisfied that everyone fully understands and is aware of all that is about to transpire, it's off to the obstacles. Unlike most obstacle courses, where participants are tested on speed and agility, allowing for others to bypass them, this one is done one person at a time as an extra safety measure.
They had no idea what the entire itinerary was. And we believe by changing people's lives, you do something unique. We brought a company down from Johannesburg that is specialist in marimba bands and drumming events, and we went to Sodwala Caves.
The group is given a guided tour through the caves with a sign language interpreter to make the experience as informative and interactive as possible. There are obviously markers along the way that one can read through, but mostly all the stops are fully signed out. After their evening tour, they are treated to a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
On 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4.
We did a drumming event inside the caves with the deaf. Now people laugh at me and say, why would you do that? They can't hear you. Vibrations is what we feel. With them not having the sense of hearing, their sense of touch, taste, sight increases tremendously. In the amphitheatre inside the caves, we had the deaf playing a tune on drums. It was a world first. Never been done before. We've researched it, and we believe in doing things like that because that allows them to be feeling normal. And I'd just like to say something. All your companies out there, put up a WhatsApp line. Put it out there for the deaf. They want to buy your products. They want to go on holiday. They can't phone you. If you have a WhatsApp for the deaf, you've got business.
Let's take a look at more of our rights. Education. Everyone has a right to be educated, a right to life. No one can take your life from you, not even the government. And you have the right to freedom of speech, so you can put that into practice right now by getting in touch with us on our social media pages. It's at Trendz on SABC. We are taking a short break. Welcome back. Boma dinners are great any time of the year, around the fire, sharing stories and laughter with friends and loved ones. Up next, Puleng enjoys a wholesome feast at a Boma dinner in Woodspruit, Limpopo. Enjoy.
A night under the stars, the crackling sound of burning wood, the aroma of African cuisine.
We cook traditional food, and then we're sitting outside in a fire and watching stars. So it's best that we actually complement it with traditional dancing.
Add traditional song and dance, and you got yourself a Boma dinner. Boma is a Swahili word for an enclosure and refers to the wall or fence that surrounds the area where people are dining.
Boma, in short, it means a fireplace. That's where many years ago, where people used to gather around as families in the evening and have dinner. The old people will tell stories to the young ones, you know, and have fun.
As the smoke fills the air and the flames give the evening a golden aesthetic, the sound of sizzling succulent meat on the open fire completes the ambience.
How many types of meats do we have here?
I've got 5.
Oh my goodness. And it's for a special occasion, right?
Yes.
What are we doing all of this for?
It's a Boma, a bride tonight. Yeah.
Okay, so when you make a Boma, what can you not have when you make your dishes, when you prepare your dishes? You know, let's say, what are the standard dishes that you need to have?
The standard that we need to have is only the traditional food. We're making a traditional food and different kinds of meats.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Fandaga, we are definitely having papa.
Yes, we have pap. Yeah. And some penny beans, some rice, some corn on the cob, chakalaka, and tomato and onion gravy.
The memorable dining affair is accompanied by traditional music to give it the authentic African feel.
Did you see see that? That was world-class performance. I just love it. Nothing beats a good dinner under the stars with fire and, of course, being in the wild. The dancers are incredible. Trust me, I tried, but these people behind me are professionals. I think I need to start getting my rhythm on. I need to start getting to the gym, and I need to join that group over there. What do you like about doing this type of performance?
Just as a dance, I like it.
A Boma Dinner is a quintessential part of bush law, an African tradition that has stood the test of time.
I hope you are enjoying the long weekend at home with your loved ones and doing everything responsibly. Say no to violence, no to crime. Everyone has a right to freedom of movement and safety. We won't stop reminding you to continue adhering to all COVID-19 regulations until we win this battle. Thank you for watching. We will see you next week.